Hey, so we have this problem, and it wants us to calculate the phase shift, the period, and amplitude. All right, so there's a couple of things that we need to note. In general, these types of formulas will look like y is equal to a cosine of b times x minus c plus d. All right, in this lesson, there won't be a plus d on any of these problems. All right, so just looking at this, normally for sine and cosine, the period is 2 pi. What that means is that that's how long it takes, okay, for a sine graph for you to get back to where you were at the very beginning. And after this, it just looks like it's an exact copy of what we had here. Right? This is called a period. Normally, this is 2 pi. And for cosine, it looks like this. Okay, this is cosine, this is sine. All right. So what affects our period is the number in front of x. This b affects our period. All right. This a affects our amplitude, and this c affects our phase shift. All right. So for this problem, there's no constant in front, there's a 1 in front of our x. So our b is equal to 1, our c is equal to 0. So there's no phase shift, and there's no change in our period. So our period is still 2 pi because the b is 1, and our phase shift, there is no phase shift, so it's d and e. Now our amplitude goes up because there's a 4 right here. So normally, I'm going to circle all this and delete it. So our period is still 2 pi. Our phase shift is d and e. And then our amplitude, this 4 right here. So normally my cosine function would look something like this. At 1, it goes down to -1 and then comes back up to 1 and 2. It's at 2 pi. Right? But this times 4 means I'm going to multiply by 4. So 1 will go to 4. This -1 will go down to -4. So my amplitude changes. It'll look something like this. This is what this graph looks like in a rough way. You can plug it in Desmos to see what it actually looks like. Prettier. So my amplitude is 4. And then that would be the solution. My period is still 2 pi. My phase shift is d and e, and my amplitude is 4.